Hey, I'm Gabe,
And I'm Derek.
and I am the founder of Never Broken. We decided to start this company and this podcast to raise awareness and help combat mental health issues using what we know how to use the best: our voices, our humor, and our willingness to put ourselves out there to be the beacon for the hopeless, and to let them know that we are here for them, to help them and to guide them through their journey with mental health struggles.
Yeah, absolutely. And the biggest part of that is going to be addressing not just the veteran community, which we are so near and dear to, but basically everyone that's dealing with it. It's become so prevalent that, we have mental health issues. We have to do something about it, right? And that's where we're coming in, taking a step in and just saying, hey, we have to change this. We can't keep going the direction we're going. We have to start making a change. There's way too many people committing suicide. There's way too many people that have major depression, major anxiety disorders, PTSD, and it just happens as a part of life. So how do we fix that? And that's where we come in, and that's where we're trying to change things. Is we want to change it by opening the conversation and the dialect to have this conversation. We want to sit there and be, like Gabe said, it was a great phrase, a beacon of light in a area where it's not really touched. It's a very taboo subject. Nobody likes talking about mental health because that would be admitting defeat. It seems like everyone's just like, if I admit I have a problem, then I have a problem, and I don't want to have a problem. But it doesn't have to be a problem. It's just something that we have to deal with. It's a struggle we deal with, and it's something that makes us unique in our own way. That's how I view it, is that it's just me being unique. It's me having my experiences and learning from them, and I am who I am because of those experiences. So how do we change this perception of mental health issues and make it more positive than it is negative right now? And how do we start changing this look at the world where everyone's killing themselves, or just letting these issues take the upper hand?
So I think I got the answer to that question, Derek, and it comes via feedback from a listener. So I'm going to read this word for word what was shared with me. I think one of the biggest issues is pride, man. I know when my shit hits, I feel like I've got to keep it to myself and just handle it. Up until just recently, when I actually started talking with my wife and a couple of my closest friends about these things, and a lot more often, I can see now that it never builds up to that point of feeling like it's never going to get any better. The fact that you guys are showing yourselves when you're at your most vulnerable, I feel like that is going to help people realize that it is okay to be open and to open up and to show the sides of that self to yourself and your true friends, and nobody will ever judge you or try to bring you down. You guys are nailing it. So thank you so much. I think you guys are saving lives.
And that's exactly what we're going for. I am so incredibly thankful for his input. That's just, it's amazing to know that we have the opportunity to change this. We have to start making people aware that it's okay to have our feelings. It's okay to be, quote unquote, broken as we've been labeled. And that's where I think your name came from, is just that
Yeah, man.
we keep getting told we're broken, but are we?
Well, so that's where it comes from, dude. And it's you've nailed it right on the head. And I think I told you this one day because you asked me how I came up with it, and I said, well, you know how like every time we get labeled as broken because we were in the military and we got diagnosed with PTSD. We have anxieties. It's hard for us to function in like a regular society. So you get that tabooed label of broken. And I kind of just thought about it one day and I said, you know what? There's a lot of things that get broken. My kids break their toys, but we fix them and and they can play with them still. And so it kind of just resonated with me. And I said, is anything ever really broken? Because it's never broken. It can always be repaired. It might not be pristine and perfect, but those blemishes and those dents and those dings and those scratches and those scuffs, those I call those marks of character. And if you can
that's
make
what
it,
scars are.
if you can make it through life with no scars, with no traumas, with no anything, did you make an impact? Did you try? Did you live life to the fullest that you could? Did you have any experiences? Like, that's what makes us all individual, and that's what makes us all unique. And to have somebody label you broken, that's not the greatest thing to be labeled, but wear it with pride. Because if you've been labeled broken, dude, like, you're doing it right. You're taking those chances, you're taking those risks, and you're doing something. You're making an impact. And I think that's the biggest thing that matters. Is you could be labeled broken, but you don't have to wear that badge as a badge of shame. You know what I mean? When it's not the scarlet letter in here, it's a badge of honor, and wear it with pride.
Yeah, we don't have a Jewish star, but if you want to have one, be proud of it. God damn it!
Yeah,
that's where the Forever Broken podcast came from. Outside the fact that Never Broken was already a podcast, we didn't want to steal somebody else's shit. Forever Broken basically means that we're just taking ownership of our quote unquote problems. I really don't. I don't look at them as a problem so much as I look at them as a challenge. And Forever Broken means that I'm going to sit there and say, yeah, you're goddamn right. I went through life. I have done everything I can to make a change, to do the right thing. And sometimes in doing that, it left me hurt. It left me scarred. It beat me down. But you know what? I get up every goddamn time. And I try to make a change every day because of it. And I'm going to make sure that other people don't have to go through the same shit that I had to go through. And that's where it came from for me in naming it the Forever Broken podcast.
I think that's a big thing too, dude. What you just said is that you're going to make sure other people don't have to go through it like you did. I think the big thing is to not protect people from having to go through it, but to, like we said earlier, be that beacon and help them navigate through that, and let them live their truth and let them be who they are, but be there to help navigate it, because we've been down that path. We've done it, and we've done it multiple times. And I think that's the big thing to remember is we're not standing up here in front of the world saying we did it alone, because none of us have done it alone. And to be honest with you, I don't think any of us would be here had we tried to face all that stuff alone. There's been many a nights where we've both been on the phone all night talking to each other about what we've been going through. And there's laughs, there's tears, there's joy, there's pain, there's honesty, and then there's boastful bullshit and babbling that we do to get ourselves through it and feel better about it. And so you don't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You have to have something or a group of someones that are there with you to go through it too. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't
absolutely.
This isn't a one-on-one battle. This is everybody coming together to get everybody through this.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be, this is going to sound cliche and gay as hell. Well, I'm just going to throw that out there. Disclaimer. It's going to sound cliche. We are going to be a lighthouse on the coast for all of our listeners. We want to sit there and give you at least the goal of what you need to do. And that comes through our vulnerability. It comes through your experiences, my experiences. And we're going to just build on those. And we're going to joke a lot. And when I say joke, I mean we're going to joke. There's going to be a lot of dark humor. There's going to be a lot of cussing, swearing, crying. We're going to dive into all of this the best way we know how, and that's just going head on with the issue. And that doesn't happen if you don't have somebody guiding the way, and we want to help people understand that's okay to follow that light. And that's where we're trying to fill the void, if that makes sense.
Right. The other thing that I want to know from you, Derek, is I got into this because I fell into the darkest, most difficult time of my life a few years ago. I basically ended up at the lowest that you could possibly be, suicidal and absolutely defeated. And it was my friends that helped drag me out of that and helped me open my eyes and kept me from making a decision that would have impacted a lot of people in this world in a negative way. So it opened my eyes and it made me feel like if they can do that for me, what can I do for other people? How can I give back the same effort that others gave to me? And that's kind of where this came from. So for you, Derek, after that phone call and I pitched this to you, like, what sold you on this? Like, what was it that made you be like, I am 100% in, let's do this?
It's been a life-changing experience for me from the get-go. You threw it out there, and I mean, instantly, obviously, you and me are best friends going back a long time now. So, if you pitch something, I'm going to sit there and probably just support you one way or the other, but I got a lot more interested in the whole idea just because I totally agreed with everything you said. There's the cause and the belief, and having dealt with the bullshit that we've dealt with, it was like, yeah, you're right. This is a problem and it needs to be addressed. And then we've talked about it a couple episodes now that people are going to need to listen into. But you and me have both been in a very bad place. It's been a dark place, and we're going to keep diving into it and delving into it. But, if we're vulnerable with it, hopefully everyone else can sit there and open up about it and be in a better place themselves to make a positive change in their life. So I hope we can encourage that and instill that in people. That's all I want. I want people to understand that it's okay to be broke, quote unquote, and take life by the horns and actually lead it yourself. Because, it's not always going to go our way, but we only control ourselves. So that's where we need to be. That's what I'm hoping we can get across to the listeners. I hope we can get them to laugh. I hope we have a lot of stories to come. I want nothing more than to just have a good time with this and help people.
Yeah, man, I agree 100%. And kind of for the listener who's going to hear these little snippets, I guess my thing I want you guys to know is that we've been through it on a personal level in a multiple facet of ways. We've both lost dear friends to suicide. We've both had that negative impact of hearing that news. We've both been to a point in our lives where we've contemplated it, possibly considered an attempt on it, and we're going to be open, raw, and as real as you can be in this podcast. So stick with us, strap in, and let's all be broken together. Let's have a great time, and let's be there for each other as a community and as a family. So from the Never Broken crew with the Forever Broken podcast, we love you guys.
We love you.
And we can't wait to keep on doing this for as long as we possibly can.
Yeah, I'm in it till I'm gone, long gone. So love you guys. We appreciate everything. Stick around. We're going to have a fun ride.